Hello everybody, Martin here, doing another Legacy League. I actually already did this. I played this last night. This is like the most guilty pleasure deck I know. It's Tin Pins or Turbo Reanimator. Um, yeah, basically playing this a bit because I think like Ultra Fast Combo has a better shot against Eldrazi. Everyone's playing Eldrazi. I don't know. I just want to maybe just wait a couple of days before, or weeks maybe even, before getting back into Storm for sure, but I might do some more Storm videos in time anyway. And it turned out to go really well. I'm not by any means like a connoisseur with this deck. I played it just a couple of times in paper. It's just one of those decks that like once a year I convince myself that it's worth picking up again and playing, and then I sort of regret it, but it is a lot of fun. This list, I like that it's running like 15 lands. That's a couple more lands than what people were running back when I played it last. I also like the two tops, especially in conjunction with this sideboard plan that I will admit I have just completely stolen off Phazon Mutant, a user from the source. I saw a tournament report he wrote, which was really encouraging and looked like a lot of fun, so I want to try like a man plan. So anyways, just quickly for those that don't know the premise of this deck, it's like a Turbo Reanimator deck. We want to cast into, preferably off a Dark Ritual, go get Griselbrand, then use the remaining 2 mana floating to cast either Goryo's Vengeance, which lets us return a target legendary creature card from our graveyard to our battlefield, or Shallow Grave, which lets us return the top creature card from our graveyard to our battlefield. And both of these cards have the same clause that the creature that comes in has haste and gets exiled at the end of turn. So Griselbrand having haste is huge because it's another 7 cards. Also, we don't lose life when we use them compared to like the Reanimate, which we run as a one-off. So, like, in principle, we entomb, get Griselbrand, Shallow Grave him up, draw 7 cards, draw 14 cards, either find another Dark Ritual Entomb and Shallow Grave to go get Emrakul, and with the Emrakul shuffle trigger on the stack, because it's Shallow Grave and Goryo's Vengeance are instant speed, we get to bring in Emrakul, swing for 22, sorry. I know math. Alternatively, we have Tendrils of Agony as a win condition, whereas if we don't get the cards off the first 14 cards of Griselbrand to actually find Emrakul, we can attack with Griselbrand. That shuts off our attack win condition, because then we don't get 2 attack steps, so we drop them down to, let's say, 13. We draw another 7. And either we just find enough ritual effects and the tendrils, or we find a way to go get Children of Corlys. This is one of the most busted and awesome interactions, Children of Corlys and Griselbrand. You stack the children to get gain life equal to the life you've lost this turn. So from what I was just explaining, that's like 21 life. And we can draw 21 more cards with Griselbrand, and then we can reanimate Children of Corlys again, and now gain 42 life, and so on. And then that way we can just draw our entire library, Cabal Therapy ourselves to bin Emrakul, to shuffle our library, draw more cards, do it all over again, and eventually just tendrils in for a million. Our sideboard, this is what I was saying, I've lifted it from what Phazon Mutant was doing. It has Mentors, Dark Confidants, and Plowshares to battle like Delver decks, and also Mentors and Dark Confidants just against Miracles. Serenity is a really awesome card for like all the stuff we don't like. And I'm running Echoing Truth over Chain of Vapor because Chain of Vapor doesn't play well with Mentor or Chalice of the Void, and Echoing Truth over Hurkyl's Recall, because even though what I'm most scared of is like the Eldrazi stuff, and they run all artifact hate, I also want to be able to bounce other stuff like Leyline of the Void or whatever, stuff that probably gets covered by Serenity, but I just like that my bounce spell isn't that limited. Alright, so with that, I will go to the matches.
Alright, so game 1 in the die roll. Excellent. And keep this hand, and we keep this I mean, we don't have the Entomb or Prison Grind to discuss, but we have like we're super soft to Wasteland, but that's I mean this deck does run two basics, but a lot of the time we just have to play with Wasteland. I think. Let's brainstorm. If we draw an Entomb, we can actually do double Dark Ritual and then Thoughtseize first. We can even also then go for Old Therapy and then go for like into Glorious Endings. They also keep sending. I think here we probably Thoughtseize on turn one. Be able to make an informed decision on therapy turns. And we see this, and I mean, immediately I wish I had, played therapy and then brainstorm, obviously, but yeah, so this could be, I've seen more and more miracle lists cropping up with like a spell snare or two. So that could be it. It could be miracles. It could also be like theoretically it could be Delver. That'd be really weird. They run a spell check from time to time. Or just some sort of blue-white red control deck. Alright, so we take the spell snare, because there's no point in taking one brainstorm and then two. And spell snare actually matters quite a lot, because half of our combo is two casting class spells. And they don't do anything. So here we have a couple of options. Like we can just probe to get a card deeper. Or brainstorm first. We could also just go for the therapy. I don't like that as much. Yeah, so we brainstorm to get somewhere. And this is excellent, right? I mean, we have to get back two, so we can like we could just go for a win here. Instead, I think I ended up sort of waiting a turn to like have more security because I didn't really feel like they were doing anything with relevance. Like the worst thing they could do would probably be like this thing counterbalance. But even then, it's like a blind counterbalance. Like if we can definitely try and go for the win here, it involves putting back like probe and either a dark ritual or a petal. And if we, or we just say, screw it, they won't find anything. But the premise for me here is that I want to be able to build therapy into the combo. So we need either the petal and one dark ritual, or we need both dark rituals. And either way, like we can't. We don't win this turn if they go force, if they brainstorm into a force, or if they just kind of force off their draw step. Like looking at it now, I think probably I should have just gone for it because getting another turn is suspect, but I think that's what I ended up doing. Get back a ritual, get back the petal, and or actually, right, so we see they have Snowcaster. Hang on, how am I? What's this crazy talk? I'm going for this turn. Never mind. Yeah, so this is our play. We get the dark ritual to resolve, and I guess like if they spawn on the dark ritual, we can just like not do anything, and then we draw another dark ritual next turn, and we do it then. But here we force their hand to brainstorm. Right. Okay. And now anything but a daze. More like them hitting double force here. Like we need force one, and then we win if they have the daze. And now they just have Clown, Snapcaster, and Vigilance. So we get the Fingers of Ran out within 2, and bring him up, and draw 14. So like, what we need here is we need Lotus Petal. We don't get one, so we have to. We have to attack him with Griselbrand and draw another 7.
Alright, so we attacked him with Griselbrand, gain another 7. We're going to draw 7 more, hope to hit a petal. We don't though, so we can't, like, we're stuck here. So what we have to do, or what we can do, is we can flashback with Therapy in our yard to get Griselbrand out of play. That way he doesn't get exiled to Goryo's Vengeance. He's in our yard for next turn. So we can bring over the Shallow Grave. And we just have to decide which like 7 card hand we keep. And I mean, it's fairly unlikely to draw 21, not hit a petal with 3 left in our library, but yeah, that can happen. So we take the Snapcaster out of their hand, and we go to discard. We discard a bunch of stuff. We discard the children. Tell you what though, here I make something of a punt in discarding the children, because you have to remember that Shallow Grave says you turn the top creature card of your graveyard, so this is one of the few cards in Magic that actually cares about the order of your graveyard. Meaning right now Shallow Grave doesn't bring back Griselbrand. However, we have Entomb to go get our second Griselbrand. We also have Emrakul. We can therapy ourselves, bring back Shallow Grave up Emrakul, and just annihilate them and kill them. But they do get another turn, and we know that they have drawn a Brainstorm. So here, we're able to, we pretty much have to Shallow Grave or therapy ourselves for Emrakul. And if they have found a counterspell, then I think we lose, which is very loosely played. There's no reason for me to keep I guess the probe. No reason for that, because I can't cast it. I should have kept like an Entomb instead. But I guess I have the mana to probe. We knew they had Brainstorm. What do we draw? Oh, we got it with Therapy. So Dark Ritual gives us 4 mana. So we can Therapy them. That's 3 mana left. We take. They cast Brainstorm, and I guess we just name Force of Will. Hopefully we'll find like another Spellslinger. And then we have 3 mana left. We therapy ourselves. Emrakul. 2 mana left. We Shallow Grave. That's our plan. So I think. Oh, and they don't Brainstorm. Maybe they don't want to add to the storm counter. Maybe they've just lost hope. But I think I got away with this one. I think I played fairly loosely. Therapy ourselves with the trigger on the stack from Emrakul. We bring it on with Shallow Grave and we swing for 15. Alright, so I'll be back for game 2. Alright, so for game 2 I made the transformational sideboard plan where I bring in the 4 Mentor, the 3 Bob, bring in the Serenity, if memory serves, and then it's like bringing out some but not all of your combo. So bring out the Emrakul. Prefer not to flip him off a Dark Confidant. Bring out 1 Griselbrand, the 3 Goryo's Vengeance, Reanimate, like 1 Entomb, 1 Shallow Grave, 1 Dark Ritual, stuff like that. I don't remember the exact numbers, but shaving that part of the deck. Oops, and get this hand. We can go, if we get a land, we can go Dark Ritual, we can probe Dark Ritual, then Therapy into Dark Confidant. That's fairly strong. But, like, I don't like not having lands. We get this one. I think I'm supposed to keep this. We draw another land. We can ponder for a land and then go mentor. I don't think they will be expecting that. I think I scried this to the top, which in retrospect is like is a mistake. I just thought, it's nice to have like a redundant threat. But we really need the land, especially when what's about to happen happens, which is we get our ponder red blasted. So like on the surface of things, not a huge deal, but as it turns out, like we just never draw another land. We draw Petal, and I think maybe the correct thing to do here would actually have been just to petal out the mentor, but first of all, they're representing counterspell, and second of all, they got a bit greedy, and I want to like get a third land, play out mentor, and then trigger him off a Petal. We just shift the turn. And they are making their land drops. Lucky. Another ponder. Run that into another blast. Seems like we're running it into something. Snap into blast. Okay. So this is beginning to get a bit out of hand. Especially now because they're just like care and slam their Jace. It's like I think here we're getting to a point where I need to make mentor next turn, or alternatively like draw up an Entomb and then just hope they don't have force. They get to untap with this Jace. It's kind of bad. We just draw the third mentor, which is a break. At this point, I am playing out a few more turns, but I am snap conceding if they play a clique or something. And I'm even at the point where I'm thinking like I probably shouldn't play out the mentor if I get a third land because they're so far ahead, and I'd rather have the advantage of them not knowing that this is my plan. Pardon me. Alright. So I'm close to conceding just now, but like if I find Rip and Entomb, I'm fine with like trying to work my way around something here. It's very unlikely they don't have like a bunch of counter magic. I draw an confident I'm not playing it out. Vis-a-vis my notion not to show them what I've done. And rest in peace. This is obviously where like bringing in Monster Mentor is great. I concede to the rest in peace, like partly because I'm gonna concede anyway, but also because I guess it makes even more so seem like I only have the graveyard plan. And I want to play for this one. I don't change anything for the sideboard. And yeah, I'm definitely keeping this hand. I get to do turn 1 Dark Confidant. If they don't have force, that's awesome. If they do have force, we 2 for 2 each other. It's okay. Then next turn I can go ponder, find more lands. And I also have the tendrils, which I think is like being a storm player at heart, like having natural tendrils, especially when we get to ping them for some damage is interesting. So, guessing they aren't expecting this turn of events. and it resolves. I remember they thought about it for a while. Pop trigger, yes please. Brainstorm, awesome. The top, it's not bad. We kind of want lands by this point. So we just get in there with Bob. Brainstorm, and they most likely blasted. I'm happier having my brainstorm taken here than the ponder, because we want to be able to shuffle in case we break on lands. But obviously it's not ideal. Caracas. Hey, that's good against Griselbrand. There we go, rest in peace. Griselbrand plan is off. It means, well, maybe it's off. Hello, Serenity. I'm happy that I'm happy attacking this turn as well because they tapped out, but against Miracle, if you really want to not attack into blue 1, because it's very likely they will snap in and eat your Dark Confidant traded with the Snapcaster. So, like, I think we're fine with, like, I want the land. I also want the mental eventually, but, like, we need white mana for that. So we put back the Mentor and we draw the Underground Sea. And we ponder. Dark Ritual is nice with the tendrils, but I'm not sure. Maybe we want to shuffle here. No. Alright. Take the Thoughtseize. There's the counterbalance. And there's the top. Okay, so that's potentially like a problem, but it's not impossible. So we flip Dark Ritual to the Dark Confidant and draw and Mainstream Mentor. So let's get in there while they're tapped out. Bring them down to 12, making tendrils more and more compelling. And I think I like playing one of my discard spells here just to make them flip top next turn. And they do. They don't even risk it. So Thoughtseize gets countered. That's not terrible. Yep. Yeah, your top land. We're just getting so many nice cards off Dark Confidant in this game. Petal, yes. So here we don't attack because we don't want to get eaten by a Snapcaster. We try and get out the Petal. We're looking at the top. And Petal resolves. So now we can either try and go for a Mentor, or we can try and play out Serenity. Like, there's a much higher chance of them having a 2-drop on top of their library than a 3-drop. So Serenity would really clean up things nicely here. Okay, so instead we Therapy. But they reveal the Flusterstorm on top. Okay. So we try for the Serenity here. They knew they would have a 2 on top, so they would crack their fetch. That means no Flusterstorm at least for our Tendrils. But they find another counterbalance. That's a shame. Well, we get to attack in down to 9. I like the sideboard plan against Miracles. I would say even if they like plan for it, if they leave in all their Terminus, that's not good. But like, Mentor is quite resilient to like Source the Plowshares, and they are taxing their Plowshares anyways. Especially when they bring in Rest in Peace to not be able to snap stuff back. Okay, so we flip a Shallow Grave. Yes, not great. Thoughtseize. I mean, we really want to hit a land now. Getting punished for being a combo deck with 15 lands and a bunch of 3-drops. And we try for the Thoughtseize. I can't imagine. Oh, they're just drawing. They didn't have a 1-drop. So here, if we'd had another land, I would be tempted to just cast Dark Ritual in response to them drawing the top, and then like casting Tendrils in there for 3 Tendrils copies, but I don't, so we can't. So here we don't attack because we don't want to Snapcaster, which it turns out they had. Just getting it down to be able to attack in, I guess. They attack, so either they're hoping to kill us with their own Dark Covenant, or it means they have like another creature. Mentor. Well, the cat's out of the bag, and I have 3 Mentors. Come on with a land. Yes. Okay, so I think we just jam Mentor. Like, I don't see us doing anything else right now. Let's just hope they don't have a 3-drop, and hope it's not a Mentor build. Ah, they don't. And it resolves. Great. We don't attack because we still respect them having like Snapcaster. So here they're Brainstorm. I'm guessing they don't have Terminus because to Brainstorm back, because then they would have had to been in their hand from the beginning of the game, or they would have taken care of Dark Confidant by now. I have a second snap. So, oh yeah, right. So they also have Jace, and Jace bounces the Mentor. They attack with only 1. We have the option to trade here, because we are getting somewhat low on life, and there is still a Griselbrand in our deck, so, but for now we value the greed, the greatness at any cost. Bob flips his land, that's nice, and another land. Like, they know the Flooded Strand, so I'm tempted to play that out, but I'm also worried about my life total, so I actually play out the Tundra. We're getting into Tendrils territory here, but not quite yet, so I think we just play out the Monster Mentor again. They have a fetch line they can crack to see if they can find a 3-drop. They fetch. That's like 1 less life. If they fetch again, that's like 1 more clock off. Turn off the clock for tendrils. Well, turn storm off the clock. They don't find it. Nope. Mentor's in. So we have the choice to play out top just to trigger a monk. Top is not likely to ever resolve, so if we do it now or later, it doesn't matter. We'd also not do it and then have Dark Ritual to sort of get them with 1 monk at instant speed, but I value the Dark Ritual with the tendrils. There's also, like, if we cast Sensei's top with more mana open, and they don't have a 1 on top, they have to draw with their own top, then we can in response resolve the Dark Ritual. So yeah, a little bit of this and that. Here I ultimately decide to swing in because I'm worried about my life now, and they offer up the trade. I offer up the trade and they take it. And I play out the top. Get a couple of triggers. They just have a Flusterstorm on top. So I guess they're feeling pretty pressured, and they just bounce the monk again, or the mentor. So they aren't doing that much with their Jace. But they resolve a second Jace. These are expensive bounce spells, and they kill our monk. Still, I'm not hating this. I have to assume they still haven't found like a 3-drop. So we play out the mentor again. They look. Chances are good they don't find the 3-drop is what I meant to say. And now we get to just cast Shallow Graves to make guys and eat up Snapcaster if he decides to send it in. Shallow Graves do nothing else. Okay, let's brainstorm. Guess they're just looking for removal. Looping, I guess. So in response to this, we make a monk. And get our mental return once more. And they attack in, we're fine. We take it. I think if they end up having Cleek, then we're dead anyways, because this Cleek flips and counters Monk, our mentor, and they have 3 in the air, and they have Karak, so that'd be really bad. I think that's the only thing we're playing around damage-wise. So now, we are not far off just being able to kill them with tendrils, but they did have that Flusterstorm lying around. Okay, so play out a mentor. Find a 3-drop? No. Mentor in. Then we fetch, go down to 2. And we cast Brainstorm to trigger get some triggers. And Brainstorm gets countered by a Pyroblast on top. This means we could go for them or we can kill the Jace, and I think it's strictly just correct to kill the Jace. They have another Snapcaster. Oh no. And here I value for sure getting 1 more monk and saving this monk. Casting a Shallow Grave here. Okay, now they're desperate. They are brainstorming. Well, desperate, I mean, there's no real point in bouncing the monk, the mentor, because we have like 3 prowess guys. So they brainstorm. Ponder. And and shuffle. So like, hopefully they have shuffled away their Flusterstorm, because I'm not sure they think they need that. But in any case, I'm not sure they have outs here, right? Like Dark Ritual and Tendrils, both spells we can for sure cast. Get these 3 monks up to 3/3s each, and they're getting in unless they can flash in another creature. Check this is not impossible. So if we draw another spell we can cast, then for sure, and we do. So like they would have to have 3 blockers basically to not die. And right now they have 1. So yeah, okay, and they just concede to that. Whew. So that was really awesome. I think this deck, like the power level in this deck, is absurd. Of just that's its primary plan. So it's like not impossible to beat any deck basically, but I think still getting miracles is really nice because it's not like an easy matchup, and not many things have to go wrong for this deck. I think for our deck for it to just crumble at the face of like counterbalance and force of wills and stuff. But okay, I played, like I said, 5 league matches, and I'll be back with the next one. Thanks for watching.